All right, here we go, baby. Do you want to start the draft? Yes, I do. Here we go.
And
We're underway.
yeah, no real early surprises really. All the running backs going off
Yeah, the
pretty
only
much pretty much in order.
yeah, the only thing you could quote unquote say is an early surprise, maybe Cooper Cup at that spot, but I think as long as this Stafford elbow issue, speaking about injuries, pans out to be kind of something he can work through. Cup's obviously the heavy number one, especially since we're playing half PPR. So it's kind of a surprise, but also not really. You know what I mean? At four, it's
Yeah, I
it's
mean he was
early,
he
but
was he wa- he was easily the number one fantasy wide receiver last year,
yeah,
and
and I
and
was
if Stafford's anywhere what he was last year, I mean he's going to be, if he's healthy, granted, he's going to
yeah,
be in the top three, like
and
pretty much for sure.
I want to just say also, it's by watching the Super Bowl highlights, I mean, Cup's definitely just at the top of his game right now. If you've forgotten, just go back and watch those Super Bowl highlights, how dominant he is in the stretch with
Mhm.
all the pressure in the world on. Let's go though. I'm going to get to my pick here and my thinking. I've actually done a bunch of mock drafts, and it really is going to end up being this way where I kind of might have Najee Harris to choose from or Joe Mixon being like, I guess they would call ADP. But I tend to go Joe Mixon. So here we go. That's my pick. Boom. It'll be interesting because actually downtown is 5, so it'll be interesting to see who he actually takes when the draft is live. Maybe he doesn't want to show all his cards,
Mhm.
so he picked the 8 spot to make it more,
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
a lot of the mock drafts that I've done, there's been a lot of wide receivers that have gone early too. Look at that. Yeah.
Okay, so you went with Najee, respectable. Obviously,
Yeah, so I mean,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, a lot of run on running backs early.
we can't have his decision making process necessarily, but he's with us in spirits. So let run us through why you went JJ the jet plane.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this guy offers number one overall wide receiver upside. I mean, I really think the Vikings as a team are ascending too. That they have Dalvin Cook, who like had I been a little bit earlier in this draft, like that's probably who I would have targeted. I mean, I know Taylor had the big
Yeah,
year. Taylor had the big year last year, and
yes, he did.
they
I
do in my mind they improved at quarterback, getting rid of Wentz and bringing in Matt Ryan. So I think Indianapolis's offense is still going to be pretty good this year, and like they'll still challenge for a playoff spot. Henry and McCaffrey to me are still the wild cards because they're both kind of coming off injury, and the past 2 years McCaffrey has been out more than he's been in. So to me, three is that's pretty high for a guy that's like had some pretty made. I mean, so far in camp, I guess he's looked pretty good, and he's escaped some of the injury bugaboos that he's had. Uh,
yeah,
but but
yeah,
but to me,
yeah.
but to me, like the more solid guys early to me are Cook and Taylor, and then obviously because Henry was able to come back at the end of last year, I would have Henry in that top three, top four range.
So, so
Sounds good. So you're on the clock here. I'm gonna let you go here.
Oh yeah, I have 33
Do
seconds
you
that
want
I've
to tell
got.
us your thinking here, or what you got on the board, anything like that, or no?
Yeah, I mean, second round. I mean, end of the second round is nice because like you can pick back to back, so you can get like a couple like guys that you really want, and like
Sure.
I'm like this
Oh,
year.
you went double wide receiver on me.
Yeah, this year. I mean, after last year, I went running back heavy. I had a good quarterback. I had Rodgers, but
Yeah,
this year I'm just thinking
you did.
my overall strategy, because my wide receivers were lacking a little bit, and the league is becoming more of a passing league anyway. I'm
And
going
we
to
are
I'm
half
going to
PPR league. Sorry, I just wanted to,
right. So the receptions
Oh,
count for a little bit
solid,
more. So
solid pick from
my
downtown too.
my overall strategy is like when we draft, actually it's gonna be more wide receiver oriented.
Gotcha. So let me chime in here with the receiver heavy back half of this draft. This is why I really, as much as our podcast isn't so official and we haven't done so much homework, I think each guy and girl in our league has been playing fantasy so long that it's really hard to predict what you guys are going to do. So when I do these mock drafts with the computer, for example, you don't see that wild card double wide receiver, or like
Mhm.
you said, like think back to last year, Ben taking Kelsey as early as he did. There's
Yeah.
always something that just throws off your thinking. And um, let's just keep rolling. I'm gonna take you through my draft process over here in Ferndale. I've been sticking to a heavy running back draft, and I think that the wide receivers are really, there's a bigger depth than there was last year because of your Jamar Chase and your you'll see as this goes through what I'll be left with. It'll be interesting since you guys took some really good receivers off the board from me. I've been able to, believe it or not, snag those guys a little bit. Maybe not CD and Jefferson, but Debo sometimes, somehow, some way. I don't know if it's the quarterback question, but yeah, obviously Debo's a very strong pick. Signed the contract that he did. I digress. Let me get into my pick. I only have 20 seconds. Um, I really like Kamara this year because the suspension is looming, and I think it's going to get pushed to 2023. So I'm going to go ahead and be ballsy and take him where I did.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. A lot of the drafts that I've seen, he's going third or fourth round.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, he's such a
Yeah.
stud to me. I mean, and I really like the outlook of New Orleans offense with Thomas back and the rookie Lave. Winston's got the surgery crap out of the way, and obviously he's got something to prove because last year he really flopped in my eyes. He had some potential, and we'll see what they can do. They also added Tyrann Mathieu on the opposite side of the ball, so I really think Kamara is still the leader. And the NFL is what it is. As long as you can play, you can play. I'm not saying he's going to be in a lot of trouble because he basically punched a guy in the face and broke his face. But that's, like I said,
Yeah. Yeah. I
there's
mean,
some loopholes and it got pushed back. There, it's looking more and more. Obviously, I'm very confident because this is a mock draft, so that's something to consider and to watch if you're going to draft Kamara.
yeah. I mean, when our draft starts, I mean, like there may even be more of a lot of those legal things kind of get cleared up
Yeah,
before the season, so or like what is going to happen with
right. We'll
suspension
we'll see
wise.
what
So
happens.
yeah, you'll probably know more about it in the coming weeks leading up to kickoff.
Sure. So yeah, it's going to be back on you here soon. What are you thinking? What's your thought process? Run us through your brain here.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
you
I think I've gotten two pretty solid number one wideouts. I could continue with that
one
strategy.
one
And
would think you would go running back here, just to
right, yeah,
point out the obvious.
but again, being at the very end though of the draft, like I can go any way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like
Sure.
having back to back picks, but like I'll be able to get a running back or a wide receiver, or I could go double running back here.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean it's your show, baby, but
yeah,
I just want to see your thought process here with the double
yeah.
wide outlook, what you're thinking here, but I guess it's run me through your pick.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, it's tough because like there's some of these guys are coming back from injury. For instance, like J.K. Dobbins, but like he could, like if he comes back healthy, he could easily be the number one running back in Baltimore again. A rookie last year that was on my team for a long time. I really like Elijah Mitchell again.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think I had Jacobs as well on my team, the Oakland's running back, and he's always pretty solid. I mean, like I don't know if he's been a top five running back, but like he's consistently near the top 10. So it's like it's hard not to like some of these guys. But like at the third round though, you're still looking for a guy that's going to be like a number one type or like high upside number two, either running back or wide receiver here. So see where I end up going with this pick.
He goes running back out in Arizona. Boom. Telling me why you picked Connor over another receiver or Akers or maybe some of the other running backs.
Yeah, so
What?
the same wide receivers are still there, like Pittman, McLaurin, Deontay Johnson are still available. To me, Keenan Allen is one that I think, I don't know, I just think he's a little bit too too highly rated. I think Mike Williams will end up being the leading receiver for the Chargers this year. I know the running back catches a lot of passes too. So to me, like in Arizona, I mean, Kyler Murray to me is like, he's still like, I'm still very skeptical of his overall game. Like their offense, I think in the first couple, especially the first 5 or 6 weeks, they're going to be without DeAndre Hopkins because he's been suspended. So I just think that they're going to lean on the running game a little bit more. And also you have to remember that their other running back, he's in Miami now, Chase Edmonds, who was on their team last year.
True. They don't have that dual threat like they did last year.
So it's more of like a true number one type of running back. And I feel pretty fortunate to get him.
Yeah, that's a great third pick after the strong wide receiver choices.
After going through that, but
yeah, the league's gonna have to think twice after your draft.
I have another 30 seconds here. I'm gonna have to make another tough pick because I mean, I really like the strategy of just loading up on wide receivers because there's gonna be a lot of big time plays this year, and it's gonna be really exciting.
Yes, sir. And we are in half PPR. Another good reason. Well, like I said, we've
9 seconds.
Oh, he's got the NASA countdown. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I you know what I had to do since he got injured last year. I went back and watched his college highlights, and I really think we could see a very similar Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow scenario because of the chemistry. And Lawrence is a really hard worker, as far as I know. I like it. Now obviously there's that injury looming, and he doesn't have any. We haven't seen anything in the NFL yet, but I really like the potential, and I guess what they would call in the fantasy world upside is a high upside.
For sure. ETN obviously last year, his whole rookie year went to waste with the foot injury, but by all accounts that I've read so far in training camp, he's appeared healthy. You do have to remember that their other running back is still coming back,
Robinson,
and like I said, like that will likely be like a timeshare because Robinson was a true number one running back when he was healthy. So
right.
I know, like I'm kind of gambling a little bit, but like you said, I mean, remembering what he did in college, I mean, he was truly one of the most dominant college running backs of recent times. And he was really good catching the ball too. So that's going to be really, really good in our league.
Oh boy, some good receivers fell off the board on the way back. McLaurin, T. Higgins, obviously Burrow being kind of a machine nowadays. I just want to say, obviously you mentioned Deontay Johnson, Waddle, still probably due for a big year, even with Tyreek Hill in town. I honestly think it might even just add to his potential because it's just one of those things that makes Tua better in the process. I have a really interesting choice here. Like I said, I've been going running back heavy. I thought about going 4 running backs in a row, as crazy as that is. But you know what? I've done crazier things in life, so I got to have some balls, so to speak, some footballs. I think I might lean running back here, but I also like my receiver options. I'm kind of perplexed at this point because I'm not crazy about Metcalf with the quarterback selection.
Yeah, it's a clear downgrade in quarterback.
It's a huge downgrade, and I know he's still the guy and he's a dominant force.
Yeah,
but I just don't know. And I think I might have more value here to just kind of steal everybody's thunder. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I gotta take him. No, you had mentioned him. I like him for probably a lot of the same reasons you do. Last year was such a crapshoot in San Fran. And when it came down to it, he ended up being the golden egg or whatever you want to call it, and ended up being the guy for Shanahan. I think once again, San Fran dealing with the new quarterback is going to be leaning on the run. I like what I saw last year, and San Francisco is still a really good team. So I'm just going to go running back heavy as much as it's kind of taboo with our half PPR format. I'm going
Yeah, to me, San Francisco is a really interesting team to watch this year because, like you said, they do have so many interesting fantasy options, especially tight end and receiving. Deebo Samuel and George Kittle coming back. Yeah, Elijah Mitchell, he was very promising for a lot of the parts of last year, but he did have a few lingering injuries that carried on through most of last season. So you have to remember that with them. I mean, that like the Niners are a team schematic wise. I mean, they're not afraid to mix 2 or 3 or even 4 running backs in during the course of a game. So you got to be available, you got to be healthy. But to me, the Niners, I don't know, going to the other quarterback, Trey Lance this year, I think it's going to be a little bit of a more of a different look for him compared to Jimmy Garoppolo, because I know they're like Trey Lance is, to me, is still very, very unproven. And while he does offer like some upside with the run with his rushing ability, he's still very unproven so far, like passing wise. And I know it's gonna be really interesting to watch the Niners this year because they are in a pretty. I mean, the Seahawks are going to be down, and the Cardinals to me are kind of like they're also kind of like in between of being like kind of in and out of the playoffs. I mean, they'll be right there again probably if Murray's healthy for the whole year. But to me, the Niners are it's going to be interesting to watch how their quarterback does.
Yeah. So I want to just say I am feeling my first real pain of somebody got my guy. I thought I was like, well, I had that option to take Lamar Jackson, and I obviously went with him. But I was thinking about taking Allen Robinson because I really thought all the way there and all the way back, he's not going to land to me. And I need a second wide receiver. You see how weak I am at wide receiver right now. That's obviously my weakness because I went so running back heavy, but I did kind of cover my butt a tad by getting Lamar. Tight end is starting to get a tad thinner, but I really want to talk about thick and thin. I think it's a little bit thicker at tight end this year than it has been in the last 2 years. You know, with the emergence of your Dawson Knox and your emergence of Gesicki, Goddard, Hawkinson, Schultz, so on and so forth. Those guys are all still on the board. I am going to have to go receiver here, and I was hyping up Michael Thomas, and I'm just going to take a gamble. I'm going to do it, baby. There's no telling what he's going to be. Obviously, I think it's there's regression from his old self, but I gotta take a chance here. I need a receiver, and I like the potential. We'll see what happens, and I'm just gonna let you know I'm gonna take a receiver on my way back if I can get one. But you just took Gabe Davis, so there goes that option, and you're loaded at receiver at this point. You got a lot of studs this year. You got Jalen Hurts, obviously, is a
To me, he's also kind of a question mark, but to me, I like his upside. I mean, the Eagles, they like I gave a lot of flack last year to Devontae Smith, the wide receiver from Alabama, but he had a really, really productive rookie year for the most part. But they also made the big trade in the offseason. They traded for AJ Brown, and they have a pretty proven tight end too. So to me, the Eagles are an offense that is like ascending very, very quickly, and I think they have the quarterback to do it this year. Because I know after watching some of the highlights from last year, I think Jalen Hurts is. I think the Eagles are going to be in a good spot this year.
All right. So, hey, Sean, just wanted to let you know we're going to have to take a quick break from this Zoom room. I'm going to email you the second room. Okay. And that's going to happen in 8 minutes from right now. So I'm already ready to go with that link.
All right. I got 40 seconds here. So I got to pick another running back.
Yeah. So we get as much in we can as talk wise as we can. But in about 7 minutes, we're going to have to switch because I don't have a Zoom account, which I probably am going to end up paying for so we can avoid this in the future. Just filling you in, buddy.
All right.
Let's get back to football though while we still got time. We still got 7.5 minutes of talkie. So downtown's got an interesting team. Let's cover what he's got going on. He's really solidified three surefire bets almost really. And Mike Evans this year with Brady coming back. a much stronger receiver core there, even though Gronkowski's gone. Harris is expected to probably be, you know, the entire offense for Pittsburgh, you know, being that they the big quarterback change. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
But he is such a workhorse. I watched a lot of
Harris.
Harris last year.
Harris is going to be
And
awesome this year.
I
was definitely considering at my pick. I was definitely considering him,
and definitely with Jefferson drawing a lot of double teams. Thielen just is such a silent assassin, drawing a lot of attention. And then obviously the Super Bowl attendee, if you will, Joe Burrow. So a solid team from downtown. I did not mention Antonio Gibson, but you know, that one's maybe the only one I'm kind of like, I'm seeing some maybe I wouldn't have picked him that early. But Kareem Hunt, obviously he's looking for a trade, and we're still trying to see how this Cleveland team is going to pan out. We're drafting a little bit earlier than we normally do this year, so we don't even know if that's going to be sorted 100% in Cleveland town. But it is my pick. Let me see what I got here. I am looking for tight end at this point in my draft. But I also need a receiver. So I'm going with Rashad Bateman. We've hyped him up enough. God bleep it. So there it is. My Rashad Bateman. He should have gone 1 of 1, but I got the double points connection with Lamar Jackson. We'll see how that pans out for me.
Yeah, I like the Jackson pick a lot, man. If he's healthy, he's going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Now at this point,
just off his rushing capabilities alone.
At this point, I'm going to go ahead and take Knox off the board. I love the Knox Hard Knocks Life from Josh Allen. He had
a looks like downtown with the same route too.
Yeah, I mean at this point, you know, we're looking at you never know because a lot of teams are filling up. So we're in the 3rd, 6th. This is the 9th round here. So you know, 9th round, you're really begging for other people not to take that tight end that you wanted, right? You know, at this point, if you don't have a tight end. So, you know, or you just gamble on somebody. But like I said, I think there's a lot more depth at tight end this year. You know, you got Gesicki still available. He is such a good talent that I think is going so late in the draft, but there's really no reason. Like in my eyes, I'd like to just say this to the experts. Like, why could Mike Gesicki not outdo Kyle Pitts? You know, Mariota's throwing to Pitts. I just really am not crazy about the Kyle Pitts pick quite yet until Atlanta works out some quarterback situation. But
yeah, I mean, guess he was really good last year outside of only having, what was it, 1 touchdown. I mean, he had 1,000 yards. So, I mean, he was an absolute beast at Florida. So, I mean, year 2, you think he's probably just going to get better. And to me, he looks like a Shannon Sharp type of talent at tight end.
So, do you want to talk about your rookie pick with Kenneth Walker? I mean, it's almost a running back 2 automatically in the fantasy world already, even though he's a rookie. We can kind of bet that Seattle is going to lean on him. They've always been a run heavy offense.
Yeah. One of the other injury news pieces of news that I saw, it was either today or yesterday, was that Seattle's other running back, Penny, he's out with a groin injury right now. So,
oh wow, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, so to me, Kenneth Walker, I mean, as a rookie, having the great season that he did last year out of college, I mean, he's definitely going to be one that's like, I don't know, like especially with that injury that's just happened, he's going to be climbing up a lot of draft boards. I don't know, as we get closer to the start of the season, because like you said, I mean, he clearly flashed 3 down potential. He's gonna have to work on the pass protection and catching the ball a little bit better, but he offers game changing ability from the running back position. I mean, he proved that all year last year, and he's to me, I still think that he might be the number 2 rookie running back behind Bryce Hall, because I think Hall to me is like a little bit more assured of carries right away. But
in Seattle.
No. I'm just talking about rookie running backs this year.
Oh, Breece Hall.
Yes, Breece Hall. Yes.
My bad. When you said Bryce Hall, I was like, "Who's this Bryce Hall? I've never heard of Bryce Hall in Seattle."
Breece Hall. Yes.
Gotcha. All right, so it's
So-
back on me. We got 2 minutes left of Zoom time. We're rolling right through this baby. I went ahead and took a risk on a rookie, Garrett Wilson. I really believe this highlight wise. I am more impressed with Garrett Wilson than I am any other rookie wideout. The real telltale thing is how are the Jets going to pan out? They have an okay offensive line. Obviously, we were just talking about Brees Hall, the addition to the team. We still have Michael Carter coming back, Elijah Mitchell, which I believe you picked. It'll be interesting to see
Elijah
how
Moore.
many touchdowns. Excuse me, my bad. Thank you for correcting me. My God, I'm mixing him up with anywho, another Elijah. But yeah, I'm gonna take Lazard off the board, and Sean guy, I'm gonna send the new Zoom link to you. Okay. So
Okay,
we'll take a little breather and we'll get to
sounds good.
your pick decision on what you did here.
Okay.